Hello and welcome. Let's start with the tensions building up between two neighbours, Mali and Algeria. The junta-led Mali has filed a case against Algeria at the International Court of Justice, accusing it of deliberately shooting a Malian military drone. According to Mali, the incident took place during the night of March the 31st to April the 1st near the Tinzoatan in the Kidal region. Now, Mali accused Algeria of blocking its crackdown on armed groups by shooting the drone, which was operating in Mali's airspace. Meanwhile, Algeria has denied the allegations, saying that the military drone had violated Algerian airspace. The drone shooting sparked a diplomatic crisis. The two neighbours banned flights to and from each other's airspace and recalled ambassadors in April. And not just Mali, but its allies, Burkina Faso and Niger, also recalled their ambassadors from Algeria. Now, Mali's allies condemned the drone shooting as, quote-unquote, an irresponsible act by the Algerian regime. Algeria also responded by recalling its ambassadors from Niger and postponed the posting of its new ambassador in Burkina Faso. Just like Burkina Faso and Niger, Mali too is grappling with terrorist violence. Armed groups, some of which are linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State, continue to attack civilians in Mali. Mali has accused Algeria of backing these terrorist groups, particularly along their shared border region. But relations between the two neighbours were not always hostile. In fact, Algeria once served as a key mediator between Mali's government and the Tuareg rebels. But the back-to-back military coups in Mali in 2020 and 2021 changed the equation between the two neighbours. As the junta came to power, it cut off ties with the former coloniser France, along with Burkina Faso and Niger. And the shared anti-West sentiment pushed them closer to Russia. Algeria, meanwhile, has slammed Mali's use of Russian mercenaries, which has often been marred by controversy. Now, reportedly, the Russian private mercenary operations have sowed resentment within the Malian army and have caused security lapses. Last year in January, Mali's junta scrapped a 2015 peace deal with separatist groups brokered by Algeria. The deal was long considered essential for stabilizing the country. Now, Mali's case against Algeria at the World Court has further heightened tensions between the two neighbours. Now, it remains to be seen how this diplomatic spat will affect the security situation in the Sahel. And for more on this, we have with us Beverly Achieng, a senior analyst at Control Risks, joining us live from Dakar, Senegal. Thank you for being with us again, Beverly.
Thank you once again, Alison.
Now, Mali argues its drone was still in its own airspace, while Algeria claims that it had violated Algerian skies. From an international law perspective, what criteria will the ICJ likely consider in determining which country's account carries more weight?
I mean, it's important to look at the likely scenarios that would emerge. So the ICJ, having received this petition, will probably announce a date for proceedings. Both parties would then be presenting their cases and arguments. Now, there's a scenario whereby Algeria, given the fact that it has completely denied these allegations, decides not to appear before the plenary, but the proceedings would still continue. In another scenario, we might see another member state, the ICJ, requesting to intervene in the dispute. And we have seen some reports unconfirmed that potentially Russia may want to mediate between the two countries because it is an ally to these two countries, Algeria and Mali. Either way, these proceedings are likely to be quite lengthy. They will take into consideration the border demarcations, zones of military operations, the allegations of infractions, among other issues, until a ruling is delivered. But for now, obviously, it's very unclear what actually transpired at the border that has led to these tensions between Mali and Algeria.
Right. And how does this drone incident reflect the deeper breakdown of relations between Mali and Algeria? especially given the collapse of the 2015 Algiers peace accord and, of course, Mali's accusations of Algeria's ties to armed groups?
Well, the immediate reactions from both Mali and Algeria when the incident was first reported do reflect that there is underlying mistrust between the two countries, especially after the collapse of the Algiers peace deal. Mali's military government has continued to perceive Algeria as an alleged backer of the armed and militant groups. And in fact, one of the accusations that emerged after the drone incident was that Algeria allegedly blocked Mali from carrying out a strike against the head of the Al-Qaeda affiliate in the Sahel. Algeria wants to push on with dialogue. It has made overtures with Mali, which it has rejected, but we're not seeing the possibility of a resumption of peace talks, either headed by Algeria or others. But there will be continued hostilities, both military confrontations at the border, as well as against militant and armed groups, which Mali will continue to link with the Algerian authorities.
And with terrorist violence and criminal networks still destabilizing Mali and the wider Sahel region, what impact could this diplomatic and legal confrontation have on regional cooperation in counterterrorism and, of course, border security?
Well, yes, the legal dispute, the diplomatic fallout is a handicap to joint cooperation, not just between Mali and Algeria, but even Algeria and the wider Sahel. Algeria had been tipped to play a key role in both aligning counterinsurgency and the diplomatic strategy for the Sahelian countries, especially after the military coups in Mali and Niger, particularly because of those close relations between the southern communities in Algeria and the northern and western regions of Mali and Niger, respectively. Beyond this, we look at economic cooperation. There was supposed to be plans to expand the Trans-Saharan Highway connecting from Algiers to Lagos. This is likely to remain on hold, and diplomatic and reduced joint counterinsurgency will likely allow armed groups to capitalize and continue to use this security vacuum to ramp up operations within those border regions.
Right. Beverly, as always, great to have you on the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion kakaijmo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.